friends, I'm Erin and welcome to Unicorn Poop Knits, the show where I show you how to make whimsical knitted creations. And in today's show, I'll show you how to make this lovely wrap sweater with a little bow. I had so much fun making this and I can't wait to show you how to make it also. I'll walk you through it step by step. And I made this sweater to go specifically with this kawaii goods dress from Etsy. It's not available anymore, but I'll link something similar in the description box below if you're interested. And this video is not sponsored whatsoever. I just like this dress and I needed a sweater to go with it. So let's get into the video. So we'll start with this Angora yarn from Madame Tricotte Paris Oren-Bayen, and it is 40% Angora goat hair and 60% acrylic. Then we'll cast on 208 stitches and knit in seed stitch for 8 inches. It will look like this when it's done. Next, it's time to make the sleeves. So we'll cast on 13 stitches on each of 4 double-pointed needles for a total of 52 stitches. The cast on process. It's almost done. And then it will look like this. And we'll need to join to knit in the round by doing a knit one, purl one rib. This will make the cuff of the sleeve very snug. This is what the cuff will look like after a few rounds. Continue in the knit one, purl one rib until the cuff measures approximately 3 inches. And then in the last round of ribbing, increase 1 stitch in the middle and at the end of each of the 4 double-pointed needles by either knitting or purling 1, front and back, for a total of 8 increased stitches. Here I'm trying on the cuff to be sure it fits, and it does. That's great. That's always a good thing. Next, I have knitted 3 rounds and purled 3 rounds twice. Then I'll knit 3 rounds and increase 1 stitch at the beginning and end of the 3rd round by knitting 1 front and back, like so. This is what the sleeve looks like now. We've made some progress. Now purl 3 rounds and knit 3 rounds twice. Then purl 3 rounds and knit 1 round. On the knitted round, increase 1 stitch at the beginning and end by knitting 1 front and back. rounds and watch the sleeve grow. Now knit 3 rounds and purl 3 rounds twice. Then knit 3 rounds and increase 1 stitch at the beginning and end of the 3rd round, like so. Then purl 3 rounds and knit 3 rounds 3 times, and the first sleeve is finished. Let's try it on. Great, it fits! Picking up where we left off on the bodice, let's work 30 stitches in seed stitch, and then place 20 stitches on scrap yarn. These will be the underarm stitches. Sleeve, place the 10 stitches to the left of the stitch marker and 10 stitches to the right of it on scrap yarn. These will also be underarm stitches. Sleeve stitches. Next, work 108 stitches in seed stitch and place 20 of the bodice stitches on scrap yarn for the other underarm. Then knit another sleeve and try it on. And this one fits too! Place the 20 stitches around the stitch marker on scrap yarn, as we did with the previous sleeve. Sleeve to the bodice. work the remaining 30 stitches in seed stitch. Work 1.5 inches in the established pattern, and then decrease 1 stitch on either side of each of the 4 stitch markers placed at the joinings of the sleeve and the body by knitting 2 or purling 2 together. Then knit 3 rounds and repeat the decrease pattern on the 4th round 3 times. This is what the sweater looks like so far. As you can see, we've knitted several inches and decreased 4 times. And we're so close to finishing this sweater. To continue, we'll turn the work to the wrong side and work in the established pattern on every wrong side. And on every right side, we'll work in the established pattern and at the same time decrease 1 stitch on either side of every stitch marker by knitting 2 together until we have 30 stitches left on each sleeve. This will shape the shoulders. I'll see you there. This is what the sweater looks like now. The seam lines are easy to see. Continue by decreasing 1 stitch at the beginning and end of the row on the right side and work in the established pattern on the wrong side 4 times. Then return to the previous decrease pattern and work until only 1 sleeve stitch remains on each side. Here you see only 1 sleeve stitch remains on each side, and you can clearly see the neckline. Now we'll switch to 16-inch circular needles. Then pick up stitches on both sides of the neckline. I honestly don't count the number of stitches that I pick up. I just eyeball it, and it works. Then work in a knit 1, purl 1 rib for approximately 1 inch and bind off. And it will look like this. The knitting is done! It's always gratifying to watch a sweater fall off my knitting needles. Weave in the yarn of the neck on the wrong side. Turn the sweater inside out and place the underarm stitches on double pointed needles, like so. Then graft the sleeve and bodice underarm stitches together using Kitchener stitch and weave in the ends. Overlap the bottom to create the appearance of a wrap sweater, and then sew it in place, and weave in the ends. At the back center of the sweater, attach the yarn with a 4mm crochet hook, chain 1, and work in single crochet around, and then slip stitch in the first chain 1 to end. Then chain 3, skip 3 stitches, and single crochet. Repeat this pattern around and finish with a chain 3 and slip stitch in the first slip stitch. Then do 1 crochet stitch and repeat this pattern around. Finish with a slip stitch in the previous slip stitch and weave in the ends. Through the crocheted holes. Sweater and tie a bow. Cut the ends of the ribbon at an angle. Light a match and carefully burn the ends of the ribbon to prevent fraying. Then use single crochet to attach an elastic to the collar. This will keep the collar snug. Then weave in the ends. And you'll notice that the collar is very stretchy. This will keep it nice and snug. Then wear the sweater and feel fabulous. This is arguably the best part. Enjoy! So that's how I made this sweater. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to subscribe and hit the bell button for notifications when I come out with new videos. And stay whimsical. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!